Hi y'all, welcome to the Craft Table podcast. My name is Tori. You can reach me either through email at thecrafttablepodcast@gmail.com or direct message me on the Making app or Instagram at the Crafting Table. I don't have a whole lot to share this week. I've been pretty set on working on my test knit, which I'll talk a little bit about. So this episode will probably be pretty brief. I also got my dog a new toy, so you might hear some squeaks. I hope not, but you might hear some little bit of noise, but I'm not gonna tell her to stop because she's been in the, I'm sorry, I'm looking at her. She's been in the dumps, so I'm just trying to cheer her up a little bit. So I apologize if you hear any extra noises that aren't me or the cats running around. It's Maggie. But I guess I'll just get us started right off the bat. I did a tiny bit of spinning that wasn't for my fleece project, so I'll share that because I actually took it off the wheel. But here it is on my little Ashford Traditional single drive bobbin. It looks very watermelon-y, which makes me very happy. It's pretty floofy. It's that it's the Nest Fiber Club from March, and it is a BFL silk blend. It's really fun. I forgot that I have to spin a little bit tighter than I would on my Fin fleece, so that took me a second to get back into the rhythm of it, and I didn't, as you can see, I barely got any of this started just because I immediately went back to my fleece project. But that was the spinning that I've done, so nothing too crazy. As for my spinning to knitting project, I spun up another skein, but as you can tell, it's almost empty. It's not empty, what's the word? I've almost knit it all up at this point, so I'm gonna need to start spinning for the next skein. Hopefully I'll have enough for when I split for the sleeves, just because I do have smaller mini skeins that I'm going to use on my sleeves. So I do have a little bit more yarn, but not too much, so I definitely need to not draft up, but I do need to card up some Rolex. I have a couple down here. This is what they look like. Pretty airy, pretty straightforward. I'm not doing a lot of color management. As you can see from here to here, it changes pretty drastically, but I don't really care. So I have a few of those, but not a whole lot to really get me going. So I need to spend the time to card more. It just is so tedious and really annoying because of all of the tight curls and how much prep work I have to put into it. So I don't know. Not my most favorite thing to be working on for sure. I won't be getting another Fin fleece, but I will be spinning up, carding and spinning up enough to finish my sweater project, which is here. I'm in the middle of a row, so pardon that whole shenanigan. But as you can see, I've gotten quite further. So it's getting there. I'm literally just I'm about 6 or 7 rows from splitting for the sleeves. So I'm getting really close. I had hoped to have that done by this podcast episode, but it just didn't happen. My energy levels were very low, so not a lot of knitting was done. Especially because this project is a larger size, and so it's taking so much longer, and that's just the way of knitting larger sizes. It takes more yarn and it takes more stitches, so it's just kind of a tiny bit dragging, but it's been kind of fun. I don't know if you can really, last time I tried to show you, let's see if I can find a good cable section. Last time I tried to show you the cabling in this bad boy, but it was really hard to see on camera. yeah, you're not going to be able to see it, unfortunately, but there's some cabling that's been really nice and interesting that I've liked, but unfortunately you can't really see that very well on film. Hopefully in person it'll be able to be seen a little bit easier because it is very pretty detailed. But just, I don't think I ever said the pattern name. It's a test knit for Taylor Owen, which I mentioned last week, and the name of the cardigan is the Kingston cardigan, and the test knit should be done mid-June, so I'm hoping to, by the end of this weekend, have split for the sleeves and have started a sleeve, hopefully, and at least gotten a little bit more on the wheel. Not a full bobbin, but at least some kind of actual work done on the bobbin. We'll see. I have to card it, and I'm not enjoying that process, and unfortunately I can't just hoist it off to someone else. I have to do it. I'm kind of tempted. So it's knitting up very nicely. It's very drapey. It's a great fiber. I just am not enjoying carding it. So I'm kind of tempted to, this is going to be bad, but I'm tempted to give it away once whatever's left over, because I don't want to work on it anymore. The knitting isn't bad, it's just, and the spinning isn't bad, it's just the carding, and that's been like the hardest thing to commit to. So I definitely will be getting rid of, either through a friend or seeing if anybody here wants it. But it's about, I started off with 2.5 pounds. I probably have a little over a pound left. So we'll see how much I have left over. Either way, I definitely want to get rid of it and give it to somebody, even if it's just a couple ounces. Could be a good experience for someone to just practice with, so we'll see. But that's what I've been knitting on with my hand spun. I do have another, oh, I almost lost some stitches on my needles. Let's just fix that. Okay. I did have another project that I've been working on just while I'm sitting on the couch. If I'm not in the mood to knit anymore on the Kingston cardie, I have worked a little bit more on the sock I showed you last week. This is the Pollen colorway from Folktale Fibers. As you can see, I've gotten part of the heel started. I'm about halfway through the heel flap, and then it should be a quick gusset, hopefully. We'll see. But the heel flap's been going pretty quickly. The yarn's been really fun. I've been dreaming of knitting another cardigan out of more of Folktale Fibers. Oh, I'm so sorry I kicked you. I didn't mean to, I'm sorry. But back to, I lost my train of thought. Hold on. Oh, okay, so Folktale Fibers, I've knit a full cardigan, the Amy cardigan from Hohi Locatelli, from her mushroom fade, and I wear it all the time. I really love the yarn. I really love how it's wearing. It's by far my favorite thing that I've knit, and I have like this idea percolating in the back of my mind of doing another cardigan in that colorway, group of colorways, but I'd have to reach out and see if she would dye a base for me, and I don't know if that's like something people do. I feel like that's a pretty big stretch to ask someone to dye a specific custom like sweater quantity if they don't already offer it. I know some people offer that, indie dyers do, like it's a special thing that they have as an option, or they do sweater quantities in advance. Folktale Fibers doesn't, at least I've never seen that, but I just love this yarn so much. It's just so squishy and stretchy. I don't know if you can't feel the squish But like, it's so nice. Like, it's really thick. It's just really, it's just magical. It's a 90-10, so 90% superwash Targhee, 10% nylon. I love it. It's amazing. It's great. It's my favorite yarn of all time. So like, I've definitely been dreaming of like a Straya cardigan with the stripes of the colorways, and then like the cream color being the base, but I don't know if that just seems really, it just seems like too much, like maybe not something that could happen. And as I'm saying this on camera, it seems silly, but I would just love to do that. I just would love to do that. It would be great. So this sock has definitely gotten my brain going in other directions, just because of how lovely the color is and how lovely the yarn itself is, and it's just so squishy. And I think a half fisherman rib in this yarn would be to die for. I really do. And I already have a striped cardigan, because the Amy cardigan is striped, and it's made out of 5 skeins of her yarn, and like, I could totally see that in a cardigan with micro stripes with one base color instead of equal color straps. So I guess that's a lot of me rambling about this particular yarn dyer. So I don't know. She's got some stuff in her shop. She's got a few skeins and a mini sock set that I highly recommend, because she only dyes on the Targhee, a 90-10 base, so I definitely would recommend her stuff 100%, 24/7. Cannot say more nice things about it. It's by far my favorite thing ever. So, and it was such a fun knit. I literally ripped that yarn out from 2 separate projects that were almost done or at a really good point, because I just wanted to use that yarn so badly, and the patterns that I'd picked had not really showcased the colors as well as I wanted them to. So that's just a testament to how much I really care for this yarn, which is so silly to be saying out loud, but it's my favorite. So the sock has been giving me lots of inspiration and kind of helping my very down mood with knitting lately and working on stuff. I think I just need something colorful. I think that's where I'm at. I think I need something colorful that I don't have to spin. That I can just enjoy as soon as it gets here. Oh shoot, I totally forgot to get, I'll show you next week. I bought yarn, or yarn came in that I purchased. Anywho, yeah, I'll show you next week. Sorry, tangent. Mushroom. I was thinking mushrooms, and the 5 skein colorway cardigan that I have is a mushroom based colorway fade, and I bought more mushroom colorway based yarn that arrived. So that's where the dots connected for me, if that makes sense. I'll just bring you along under my thoughts and how my brain works. But yes, this sock here, like, just look at all those pretty yellows, and look, just her color sense is just so great. I wish I would have picked up another skein of hers, or talked to her about this, because it's an odd request, I think, to be like, hi, will you do this for this random human who really likes your yarn? Like, that just seems silly. But regardless, I'm enjoying my sock. It's been nice to have something quick and easy that actually has feels like I'm making progress, because the Kingston Cardi, quite frankly, doesn't feel like I'm making progress. It just feels like a bit of a slog, and I know it will be better once I split for the sleeves, so I'm just trying to stay positive and keep going, because I know that the end result will be great and I will wear it all the time. It just is a little, this part of it's been a little rough. So hopefully I feel a little bit better about it. But in the meantime, this sock with the cute little color, the cheerful color, will keep me from trying to knit up other projects, or I don't know, jump ship and totally abandon this test knit, which is insane because, again, I know I'm going to really enjoy the product once it's done. This process has just not been enjoyable, and I think it comes down to the fact that the carding of this fin fleece feels like such a big challenge, and so it's not been the best to get me motivated to knit and spin, which is why I think I had ultimately ended up spinning that tiny amount of the watermelonish colorway on another bobbin just to get my gears going again, because that really helped me sit down and start carding again. But other than that, I mean, aside from all of my rambling that you just listened to and my internal monologue being spewed onto camera, I don't have anything else to share. Like I said, I've got some purchases, but I'm not going to get up and restart and do that right this second, just because I'm already 17 minutes in, and that just seems like a lot of work. I'm not a big fan of editing, so just gonna be honest with you. This is a low budget, not low quality, but it's a low budget, low expectation kind of podcast. So I'll talk to you about it next week. And I'll definitely, another thing is I wanted to mention that I did start prepping my Cormo. So this is what it looks like washed and carded. I made little batlings. It's very floofy and lots of air. Like, you can see how much air is in this. It's a lot. It's really good. It's really good. It's a very, very long staple length. We'll see. I did at least card that up a little bit to see how it would look. I'm not going to spin it yet because I've got other spinning projects, but I will talk to you guys either next week or the week after about it, because I think it's really interesting and worthwhile to talk about and talk on. It's very different from what I'm spinning now, and that is interesting to me. And it's very different sheep breeds too. Finn is more of a medium to long wool, and Cormo is a fine wool. So completely different fleece quality, micron count, all sorts of things. Very, very different. And I think it'd be really fun to talk to you guys about that. So that is on my agenda for either next episode or the episode after, just to see. I don't know if I'll have a whole lot to share, so that might be something that I throw in to lengthen to make an actual episode rather. Other than that, I don't have anything else planned. I'm just gonna work on my test knit for a little while and try and get that. I really want to split for the sleeves by next weekend so that I can just be on body and sleeve island for a little while. I think that would be probably the best for me. A small circumference knitting will definitely help make this project feel a little bit better. The pattern isn't bad. I should preface this. The pattern is written out nicely. The instructions are very clear. It's just this larger size is taking so much longer than what I'm used to, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I haven't really knit too much for myself at this larger size that I'm at. So it's been interesting to see how knitting a garment for myself in the correct larger size really is, because I'm at the higher range. I'm in the back half of the sizing, because it's, I want to say like 30 something to 72 inches bust size. So it's a really good pattern. It's very size inclusive and it's great. I definitely will recommend it. Would recommend it once it's been released, just because even though I'm having a hard time, it has nothing to do with the pattern. It's got other things are going on. So not at all anything to do with the pattern. I should just preface, I am looking forward to when I can get to a point where I can enjoy the pattern rather than it feeling like a slog right now. Do you guys feel that way about test knits? I don't know. I've never done a test knit, so I'd be really curious to know like how you feel about test knits, if you've done a bunch, how it goes. Is it exciting? Do you enjoy it? Is it something you don't enjoy because of the pressure of timing? Like, what is your experience with test knits? I'd love to hear that, and if you wouldn't mind maybe sharing some insight down in the comments. I think that would be really interesting, just because there's so many new designers nowadays and so many open test calls that I think it'd be really nice to hear from you guys what you think of test knits and kind of what your experience has been with it, because every designer is different and so everything is going to be a little different. So yeah, I'd love to hear what you have to say down in the comments. Other than that, I hope that you have a good day. Here in the Northeast, we are going to have a week of summer-like weather, so that's really exciting. I hope with lots of sun. I hope that you, wherever you're at, get to enjoy your weather and sunshine if you have it. I also hope that you are kind and gentle to yourself and take time to do something nice or something that involves self-care for you in the next week or so, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.